I'm divorcing my ex-husband. It's been messy and I've been living with my brother as he helped me leave him. My brother used to be friends with my ex, so the divorce has been rough for him too, and I think he's been focusing on his anger so he doesn't have to accept that my ex hurt him too. My son was sick and he kept asking for his dad, so I asked my ex to come and see him. My brother was out when he came over, but my sister-in-law was home and she kept telling me that he wouldn't like it when he found out. I think she called him because he came home early and he knew before he even saw my ex. He told my ex to get out of his house and stay away from me and forget he had a son. My ex refused, but I made him go as their arguing was upsetting my son. Once he left and my son had calmed down, my brother turned his anger on me. He thinks I'm insane for asking my ex to come and see our son, as he thinks I need to stay away from him until our divorce is finalized. He told me he didn't want him in his house again and wouldn't budge when I reminded him he's still my son's father. I was frustrated, so I told him he needed to get over it because I did what was best for my son at the moment. Am I the idiot? Edit, son had a stomach bug so he was sick, but not so sick he needed to be in the hospital. Because of his age, video calling is pretty useless as he loses interest quickly and doesn't see it the same as having his dad there in person. Ex wasn't exactly nice towards the end of our marriage. He wasn't very nice. Please explain what that entailed to the extent your brother doesn't even want to see this man's face. I'm sorry, but you are the idiot. Your brother is angry because you let this man into his house. Additionally, you knew your ex wouldn't be welcome in the house because your sister-in-law outright told you this, and you ignored her. Bringing the guy into their home against their wishes like this is an idiot move. It's their safe space, and you don't get to violate that without damn good cause. Yeah, it seems like if she needed help leaving her husband, OP's ex might have been a habitual cheater or emotionally manipulative idiot. If this was my sister, I wouldn't want to see someone like that around my sister, nephew and wife. And in my home, alone. Coincidence that the ex had to come over when the brother wasn't home? Yeah, I can bet that's exactly why bro reacted the way he did. OP, you're behaving like a victim does. I think you should listen to your brother. Sister-in-law also pointed out that it wasn't a good idea and you put her in danger too. This isn't a we just don't love each other kind of divorce. Your ex must have done something really serious to get that kind of reaction from a former friend. The fact that the brother told him to leave and he refused makes me think there's a serious issue. Someone being told, forget you have a son, is a massive problem. Sister-in-law was also so scared she called her husband. Agree. OP also tried to hide that the ex was coming over. Her account isn't trustworthy. Knowing that makes me doubt her interpretation of events. She is trying to minimize her ex's actions and even lies to themselves. What we know for sure, based on her own admission, is that she's dismissing the ex's intrusion. My money is on ex being extremely outgoing and charismatic in public, but then turning into a monster at home when he turns off his public persona. So the brother spent years content in the knowledge that his sister was married to a good guy, then when he found out what his sister and nephew were dealing with at home, felt both protective and betrayed. If this really is the case, OP is endangering her kid, sister-in-law and brother by letting this guy around, not just herself. You're most at risk when you leave your partner. I sympathize with how difficult leaving him probably still is, but that sympathy hits a big damn brick wall when you drag the safety of other innocent people in. I hope she gets help so she realizes how serious this situation is. If the kid asks for her dad, she needs to learn to say no. I don't think a video call would be as safe because it's a way for him to weasel his way back in. Get therapy and apologize to your brother. He's protecting you. A month ago, I, female 25, moved into my new flat. It's a bottom floor flat in an older house, so you can easily hear what other people are doing. My upstairs neighbours, a couple, female and male, late 20s, early 30s I think, are generally good neighbours. They're not loud or anything, but I've noticed their inappropriate and wasteful bathing habits. You can hear the water running easily. I'm not a creep. The girl takes a long bath, 30 minutes to 1 hour, every single day, and the guy is taking 2 shorter ones, one in the morning and one at night. I know all our flats have baths only, no showers. I thought it was just a one-off, but it happens every single day. As I said, they're not loud and don't bother me, but I am worried about them being so very wasteful with water. It's not appropriate for 2 people to use this much water. I can hear her topping up her bath with warm water constantly during her bath. I understand getting dirty and everything, but these two work from home. They don't need daily baths. That's so wasteful. When I saw the girl, Jenny, I approached her and tried to gently ask about her bathing, but she told me she wouldn't discuss her habits with strangers. I tried to explain to her politely that it was wasteful and that she should be more environmentally conscious, and she rudely told me to mind my own business. I told her that I appreciated that they're recycling and have separate food waste, but it's not enough, and they're really wasteful and ruin the environment for everybody. She told me that she'd take as many baths as she wanted because she was not going to stink as I did. I told her that was rude and uncalled for and that I don't smell and natural skin oils are not smelly dirt. She said, "Keep telling yourself that, anyone can smell you." I tried to explain to her that she was unnecessarily rude and I was just trying to educate her on the damage they were doing, but she even more rudely told me to mind my own damn business and never speak to her again. I told my friends about this, and some of them agreed with me. Others suggested I should have spoken to the landlord so he could speak to them, and a few people said I was the idiot and shouldn't approach strangers. I only tried to help, but I worry that I might have crossed the line into being an idiot. Am I? You are the idiot. You definitely crossed a line by bringing up their bathing habits, which, as your neighbour immediately pointed out, is none of your business. You are trying to force your personal beliefs on total strangers. I can't say I blame your neighbour for reacting rudely. Commenting on your neighbour's hygiene routine is incredibly invasive. I realise you may think you are educating them regarding what you see as wasteful, but it's very creepy. Imagine them going through your trash and finding you not recycling 100%. And they decide to educate you. You owe them an apology. For real, what the heck? The way you approached her was so creepy and uncalled for. Mind your own business. Imagine someone out of the blue asking you, "How do you shower and for how long?" Like, what the heck? You aren't paying for their water. Feel free to reduce your bathing to balance theirs if you feel so strongly about it. Someone taking a bath every day is nothing. It changes nothing. The only way to change things at this point is on a grand scale. We're talking major laws for industry, entire countries completely changing, global initiative type stuff. Going around pontificating and harassing people about taking a bath isn't the move here though. If you're passionate about wastefulness and the global environmental crisis that we're in right now, then you need to spend the time you're listening to people taking a bath on reading and educating yourself. Volunteer with a charity making big moves to create change in legislation. Put the energy you're using judging people for not being as good as you into something less performative. My parents broke up when I was 4 and before the birth of my younger sister. Their divorce was pretty quick once my sister was born. My dad met Sarah when I was 7 and they got married after a year of dating. I got along okay with Sarah, but she was never special to me the way my parents were. I'm now nearly an adult and Sarah wanted to talk to me recently about how I chose my mom over her. She told me I never turned down time or did something with my mom when she asked me to do something, yet I would turn her down for something with my mom. Examples were both wanting to do something after a sports game I had when I was a young teen. Sarah asked after my mom did. I told her I had plans with mom. Another time, Sarah was going someplace with her nieces and asked if I wanted to join them. I told her I'd let her know, made plans with mom and told her I couldn't go. She found out I chose to spend time with my mom. I went to my boyfriend's prom with him last year and asked my mom to go dress shopping with my friends and me. Sarah was upset about it. She told me all this not too long ago and it bothered her. She says she wants me to feel like I will choose her over my mom sometimes in some things. Then she told me my sister said she didn't pick her over mom either because she saw I never did and thought she should copy me. She told me I might have been older than my sister when she and our dad met, but we had been kids, and we could have and should have been just as much her kids as our parents' kids. And it upset her not to be treated the same, appreciated the same, and valued the same. I told her I hadn't set out to hurt her feelings, and I'm sorry that it had, but I would never regret the time I spent with my mom any more than I regret the time spent with my dad. And it only bothers her if I choose to spend time with my mom over her. She asked me to choose her sometimes, though, and not my mom. Then I told her I would never choose her over my mom, and I needed her to accept that. She's mad at me. Dad was confused when he heard and told me not to worry about it. But he then argued with my mom over it, not a huge surprise, and Sarah told me I was cruel and a bully. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You were cruel and a bully? You? Oh my, this is so brutal and selfish of her. You have every right to choose your mom over your stepmom, and she should always enforce that bond between the two of you. That's what a good stepmom does. Even if she does feel some type of way when you don't join an activity, and of course she can be upset about it, she should never expect you to favour her over your own mom. Glad your dad had your back on this one. And no, you are not a bully. Her saying that makes her a bully. Don't take any of this personally, and enjoy spending time with your mom. Yeah, her feelings for you do not come before your own feelings. Do you know how step-parents get an actual parent role? They don't demand it, they build it. Does she put her own children before you the way she wants you to do with your mom? I would guess not. It really seems like she's actually trying to one-up your mom in some competition in her head. You were respectful and honest. She's being pushy, petty, and insecure. She also should have realized by now that she can't dictate how you feel and act. Yeah, this is insane. What a stepmonster. I would never choose my stepmother over my mom, and my stepmom would never dream of demanding that of me, and she's been in my life for over 15 years now. Side note, Dad only pretended to have OP's back but then caved and went and got mad at Biomom over his wife's insane insecurity. Go to live with your mother full time. Go low contact with Sarah and learn to grey rock. I have a friend, Victoria, 30 male, who I love dearly, but she has a quirk that I cannot stand. Victoria is notoriously indecisive. Sometimes it can be avoided, others not so much. The last big point of contention was 5 years ago when she got married. People took off work, booked flights, etc., all for her to change her mind just months before the wedding. Both times there was no emergency or reason to change the date. She just found a better venue and it was still early enough to get deposits back on the original, so she did it. Of course, people were upset. And once again, many people couldn't come to the new date. A few of us tried to tell her to manage her expectations. Victoria kept saying it was her special day, she could do what she wanted with it. And what's worse is 2 friends in our group supported this behaviour. We've had some minor issues where we'll start planning group trips, only for her to back out or want to change everything. Of course, we never lose money, but it's still annoying. And still, we resolved this by basically planning everything and telling her where to show up. Cut to the next time that's not possible, this year. Victoria is pregnant with her first kid. She helped plan the shower and pick the venue, a friend's house, date, etc. This time we triple-checked that this was what she wanted. She said yes. The shower is supposed to be in 2 weeks. Then she changed her mind. She wanted to change the venue and the date. Once again, several people can't come, and this time I'm included. My husband and I have an anniversary trip planned, non-refundable tickets and resort accommodations. We're also going to be somewhere that doesn't allow technology. Victoria asked me to reschedule and I said I couldn't. I'm sorry, but I'll send a gift. She got really upset and said she wanted me there. I sympathised, but I said I had this trip planned for over a year. She then mentioned how many other people couldn't come. I pointed out that maybe it's a sign to keep the shower on the same date, same venue, etc., especially as our friend is still willing to host. Victoria tried to pull the same old, "It's my special day, you only get one baby shower," etc. I got fed up and told her that she was within her rights to change the date, but that it was inconsiderate to constantly do this last minute. I pointed out that while she's free to do what she wants, she has to stop getting mad at others for having lives and not dropping everything for her. Victoria began to cry and hung up. Our friend group is divided. Some think I should have just let her be upset, she'd get over it in time, and that it wasn't the place to bring up my issue with her indecisive nature. Others have told me that I did the right thing. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Victoria sure is ready to defend her right to do what she wants, but others' rights to do what they want? No, you owe me. She can't expect people to keep changing plans at her whims. If people accommodate her, she will continue to do this. Another case of a person with main character syndrome, LMAO. OP, you were nicer than me. I would have responded, my anniversary only happens once a year. It's my special day specifically, whereas your baby shower is already planned and can happen on any day leading up to the birth. So actually, you're the one asking me to mess up a special day for your whim here. Let the friends who think this behaviour is okay support her. It's absolutely ridiculous that she asked you to change your trip. It reminds me of people who test relationships to see how many hoops an SO will jump through because they love them. I'm a 43-year-old male. I have 2 biological kids, a nearly adult male and a young teen female, and 2 stepkids, 26 female and a teen male. I share custody of my bio kids with my ex-wife, my stepdaughter has her own place, and my stepson lives with my wife and me. Their bio dad hasn't been involved for almost 15 years now. When I married my wife, her daughter had just turned 16, and my wife didn't have a job at the time, so I offered to buy her and my stepdaughter her first car. Originally, my wife was going to, but she just lost her job and we were just starting to share finances. I told her I'd give her $5,000 to buy the car, and if she got a cheaper car, the rest could go towards the gas for the first few weeks or months. I did the same thing for my son for the same birthday, but he wanted a more expensive car, so he hasn't bought one yet. He's still saving up. My stepson had a birthday last week and I gave him the same money for a car, $5,000. He chose a cheaper car and we'll also fix it up a bit together, so he already has a car. My ex called me yesterday and she was furious, saying that if I have $5,000 for my stepson's car, I also have a couple of extra thousand for our son's car. I told her, yes, I do, but this is not about the money, it's about the kids having a car and also learning financial responsibility. She was angry. My son texted me this morning saying he's disappointed that I won't give him a bit more money for his new car. I told him in the year since I gave him the $5,000 he could have either purchased a cheap car, and I offered to help him fix it up, or get a part-time job and earn some more money. He called me an unfair idiot. So, am I? You gave all children $5,000 toward a car. The other kids chose a cheaper car. Nothing wrong with that. Your son chose to save for a more expensive car. Nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is the expectation that your son should get more money for no other reason than he wants more money. What? I would genuinely sit your son down and ask him why he feels he's entitled to better treatment than his siblings. Not the idiot. If mom is so offended, she can pony up. 9 years have passed since my stepdaughter got $5,000 and prices have risen. This is a situation where the same money isn't fair. To be fair, every kid should get the same purchasing power. Purchasing power goes down. Good for the stepson that he's happy, found a bargain and made it work. Good for OP to try and treat all the kids, step or bio the same, but he needs to acknowledge that each age tier is getting a different gift. The bio son was given his $5,000 before the stepson, so he had the same, if not better, buying power. His bio son chose to wait because he wanted to get a nicer car. Now he's asking for more money, in essence saying, I'm more important, so give me more. If it was fair for the stepson, it most certainly was fair for the bio son. Not the idiot, and your ex sounds like a horrible influence.